Hello,
Yeah, but it's
everybody.
okay. What's up?
Welcome to another episode of Over
What?
Coffee.
John's not on mute. I'm muting him.
What was I? Was I on mute?
No, not you, John. He's not on mute.
Oh,
He's talking to someone else, so I'm gonna mute him.
okay. Welcome again to Over Coffee. Here we are together. Now we have built our co-host team. So we've got John and
Hello.
we've got Rich. Oh, hello. There's John.
Hi. We
Looks
can
like
see.
John's getting.
We can see
breakfast
his
ready.
lovely face. He's not naked. John promised us he was gonna be naked.
I think he just said he wasn't just ready just yet. That's
Whatever.
Oh no! Did you just lose me?
No, you're there
There's weird things happening. I'm on Zoom on my phone, just real quick.
because you broke your computer.
I think, yeah, something happened. Who knows?
Ah.
So you guys were just talking just before we went live. You guys were talking about making characters or something like that. What's that for?
So our friend Chris, who used to GM for us, he said, "Hey, I don't have a lot of time, but I was thinking maybe what we could do is um, just do a quick, maybe a campaign once a month or something. I don't know. He didn't even put a time frame on it, but he was thinking about doing it. So he asked us, and he asked us if we made characters. Like, sure. So inevitably, one of our friends, I won't use names for Mike, but he the conversation comes up is how do you roll stats?
Okay.
And so Mike will chime in automatically, going 3d6 in order. Anything else, and you're being a wuss. Like, Mike, why? I mean, I laugh. Everybody else gets bent out of shape. Well, not everybody, but like, well,
Right.
John, you heard John getting bent out of shape right before this, because apparently John rolled his stats.
Well, hold on. Let me maybe break down my argument. What I was coming from in two things.
Well, by the way, I'm on your side, John. I'm not. Just so you know.
So first I used the standard array, and then our friend Mike, who's a traditionalist in a very extreme sense of the word, is like, you gotta roll your character, blah 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 blah. So then the DM goes, or well, Chris goes, well, it's 3d6 in order. The problem with that though is that I had an idea, like when he said come up with character concepts and pitch them out. I latched onto an idea of a character that I wanted to play as before I had the stats for it, because with the standard array, I could just build it out. I'm not necessarily against 3d6 in order, but it won't let me build the type of character who I want to build as, because he would, just because of the way that the game works out, he would be majorly impaired. Because he had a minus dex modifier and a minus con modifier, which in 5e means that not only is his AC would be reduced significantly, as would his health. Because with a barbarian, your con modifier goes into your 8 armor class. At least the bonus would be.
Right.
So then it's like, well, granted, if I really wanted to, I could build it. It's just a matter of, he would be mechanically it would just be the stats would be mechanically incompatible with the class.
Right.
That's not to say that I could still maybe find something else. Like if I have somebody who's got terrible con and terrible dex, but he has a high int and a high strength, I could maybe go, like whatever character class is intelligence based, like wizard or sorcerer. I don't remember which one is which. And then there'd be a reason for him not to get anywhere near close to combat. But I kind of really wanted to be like a punchy kind of class, because I don't really get the chance to do that often. I usually end up finding myself being more of a support role of either like a cleric or whatever, just because the party needs it. Like the last couple of campaigns I've been in, I've been, cleric. So now I've been wanting to play other things. And yeah, if I go with the 3d6 arrangement, the problem is that it's just grossly inefficient for that specific type of character I want to play as. And even if I want to, let's say, well, you should be able to make the best out of any character you have, then I know that he's terribly. It's just that he's not long for this world. Or it's honestly,
Right.
it's counterintuitive to what I want to get out of the character. Now, I don't want to keep going on to a tangent, because I have something I was going to maybe weigh in on that. But do you guys want to chime in, or should I go for just a little bit longer?
So let me just point out what it says here, okay? and I've gone back, and now having played the game in a basic and traditional sense, so to speak, reading through the rules. Let me just read you a quick passage, okay? So each and every character has 6 principal characteristics, the character's abilities. These abilities are strength, blah 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 blah. The range of these abilities is 3 to 18. The premise of the game is that each player character is above average. So for everybody out there who says Dungeons and Dragons, I'm an average person. Wait a minute, no, you're not. The game is that you're a character that's above average. You're an adventurer.
You're a hero.
Yes. You're a hero. Well, maybe even if you're a villain, you could be an antagonist, a protagonist. It doesn't matter. But you are better than the average person.
The only argument I can make about that then is that by that logic, I would say that the stats for most NPCs means that most NPCs probably wouldn't have a stat that's above maybe like a 6.
Okay, that's not true. That's not true. They would have all averages. Because listen, the premise is the game that each player character is above average in at least some respects and has a superior potential. Furthermore, it is usually essential to the character's survival to be exceptional with a 15 or above in no fewer than 2 abilities.
Wow.
Okay? The referee has several methods on how the random number generation should be worked. So, I will flip over to, I now have the Dungeon Master's Guide. And by the way, this is first edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
Okay?
Not fifth, not third.
Right? So, where it says rolling abilities. Hang on. Give me a minute. Go ahead, John. Talk just a minute more.
Well, so the 2 things I was going to say is, number one, in earlier editions, I don't feel like those negative stats would have been as detrimental because we would be talking about as most like a -1. Like, even though he'd have like bad stats in 2 of his things, although I think actually it was technically 3. So I think his charisma, his dex, and his con were just awful. But that said, even in earlier editions, like I feel like a 5 or even like a 7 wouldn't be like a death sentence. It would just be like, all right, you have a -1. But then again, like your highest bonus could be a +1. It's not that drastic of a range, and the game's not really dependent upon, let's say, you swinging one way or the other. That said, I actually did a panel talking about how to not necessarily view bad stats as bad stats. It's just something that you should be able to walk around with your character. So I do kind of feel a little hypocritical, kind of feeling upset about how this is kind of shaking, how it would have shaked out. But again, at the same time, it's just more along the lines of it's just not what I wanted to build.
Okay, so let me round out the rest of this conversation, and then we can move on to any other topic that somebody else has. There are 4 methods listed in the first edition Dungeon Master's Guide because there are none listed in the player's handbook. Back in the day, you needed both books to play the game. Well, Dungeon Master needed 1 and the player needed 1. Method 1 is 4d6. That's 1. No, you can be disappointed with the rolls. I agree with that, Rob. 100%. But it's 3d6, not in order, and then arranged however you want. That's method 1. That's the recommended method. Method 2, all scores are recorded and arranged as in method 1, but 3d6 are rolled 12 times and you take the highest 6 scores. That's method 2. Method 3 is scores are rolled according to each ability category in order. 3d6 are rolled 6 times for each ability. Okay? And then there's method 4. 3d6 are rolled a sufficient times to generate 6 ability scores in order for 12 characters. And then you pick the best character. So taking method 4 is the closest. Method 4 and method 3 and 4 are the closest to what Mike's saying, but you're still rolling 6 times for each ability, or you're rolling 12 characters before you decide which one. So you can absolutely be disappointed in your rolls, but statistically speaking, yeah, that is a lot of rolling. Okay, those are the only 4 methods sanctioned in first edition Dungeons & Dragons. And furthermore, John, check this out. Immediately following that, it says non-player characters. In general characters, like not your above average antagonists of the story, right? Those should have stats like PCs. However, your average person, you roll 3d6 for the character's abilities, but allow a full range of 3 to 18, except in the ability or abilities which are germane to his or her profession. Strength for fighters, etc. for all others. Oh wait, I apologize. It's
Why?
three D. Wait, no, it's 3d6 for each ability as usual, but use the average score by considering any one of three and any six of four. So it gives you how to roll your general commoners, right? Which will always dumb them down into the regular curve. So I'm not even going to buy into the debate of the argument on the text. There is no 3d6 in order is a basic game thing. Yes, 46 dropped the lowest.
Yeah, that's what I used to do.
That's what I used to do because it's method one. It's method one. So, anyway, back to real life.
Well, I was going to chime in. I typed it in chat pretty much, but the thing about I've always let people do their roles and then choose what abilities they want to put their roles into instead of just going down the things because one thing is you want to have people have fun. I mean, the end objective is fun. So if this time, like John mentioned, if this time he wanted to experiment with a punchy character instead of a support character, then if he put the roles into the spots that he wanted, then maybe he would again be a cleric. He rolled really well with wisdom, and also I think that not letting people choose where they want to put their stats also leads to potentially a very unbalanced party. Just by the luck of the rolls, everybody might have rolled high strength, so you got a party
Right.
of five.
Well, we have another player who happened to roll an 18 in his strength, so or two 18s or something like that. So, like, I'm not against flaws. I'm not against characters being like having flaws or bad stats, but having like three of them when you have a maximum of six, like I even almost feel like I remember granted this might be a 3-5 thing. Something saying if your character has under 10 in more than two stats, you should consider re-rolling them because they are just not like
It's not a
they're
3-5 thing, it's a 5th edition thing.
no, I think it was something in 352 or something similar. I don't remember the exact rules. Oh, by the way, hold on, check out my breakfast.
Stop it. Get that that is gross cardboard.
It is the most delicious, like sweet.
Gross cardboard.
Are we about to hear John crunching away?
I'll mute it. I mean, I don't know about you, Rich, but apparently the Paw Patrol says that this can help me to build strong bones and vitamin D.
And pause.
I know who the Paw Patrol is.
I've got a couple announcements.
Yes, please.
So tonight, actually, for the Syosset Library at 7 p.m., and the link I have put on my Facebook page, Game Master Games. You can find that. Although I didn't make an event, I just have it in the feed. But tonight at the Syosset Library, 7 p.m., Ginger and I are giving a quick talk on role-playing games. 101, just what are they, so that we can introduce some people. And then we are playing Honey Heist for a good hour. We're going to play a scenario of Honey Heist just to introduce people to games. And Honey Heist is a free RPG you can get off online. It's very simple. There's only two stats. You have bear stats and criminal stats, and basically the premise is that it is HoneyCon 2020, and you have a very precise, detailed plan on how to get the honey. But the second point is that you're all bears, so you play a bear in the RPG.
Very cool.
Or you can go to the Syosset Library website, and also you can see that they have the event listed for tonight too. And then I just recently tried Starborn. Have you guys heard about that?
No.
Okay, so it is a mega multiplayer online, I guess, strategy game. It seems like it's a mix of EVE Online, Stellaris, and also Twilight Imperium. because they run 70-day games. So you play the game. You start out with basically nothing. You're building up a like Stellaris. You have one star system, and you try to build up and get materials and build a fleet. And then you're interacting politically, like Twilight Imperium, with all the other players on the server. And they have something like 30,000 players on a server. It's crazy. Or maybe it's 5,000 players on a server. I can't remember. But so it's basically a huge Twilight Imperium game,
What's it called?
and you have 70 days to get voted like uh, emperor of the galaxy. And whoever gets voted, I think it's voted. I can't even in 70 days of time, you can't even like take over the stuff. It's called Starborn, Borne, and so there's a very distinct game beginning and a very distinct game end. And then they do upgrades by cards. So every time you do something, you get a rewarded cards. And it's a mix of sort of like all those phone app games. Like you log in 2 days in a row, you get a bonus card. You log in 3 days in a row, you get a bonus card. You build something, you get a bonus card. And it seems interesting. So I'm just checking it out, and I'm streaming it on the GMG Dave site just to begin with to see if it's any good. Um, so and then I just signed up for an out of the park baseball league. I don't know if anybody plays sports simulation games, but I just signed up for out of the park baseball. I'm
So
checking that out.
I don't, but you know what I used to play? I used to play um back in the day, micro league baseball,
Okay.
which was a computer simulated baseball game. But it wasn't about playing the game. You managed the team, your team in the league, and when you won games, you gained more money, so you can do trades and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was actually a pretty darn awesome game, because you had to buy the new game when new stats came out, but players had certain specific stats and build your team to try to win a World Series.
Well, I am playing Out of the Park Baseball 21 off of Steam, and that is what I did. I played Out of the Park Baseball since like the 12th year that it came out, and this is the 21st year that it came out. But I've never played in a league before, so I'm checking it out. And that is essentially it. I have a team, I have a budget, and I am the manager of the team. I set up my lineups, I set up my rotation, I set up all my strategies, and like if this person gets injured, who am I going to replace him with? And so then I send my file to the commissioner, and they run like a whole week of games. And for every 2 days of real time, they run a week of games in baseball time.
Oh, nice.
And
So I got a question.
It almost sounds like it's got like fantasy baseball in a way.
Yeah,
But like not high fantasy baseball, but like just fantasy baseball in the sense of like you're really more focusing on the stats than the actual like game itself.
correct. We don't play the individual games; they just get simulated by the computer. Correct.
right. Which was right, like micro league baseball.
Yeah. Yeah.
So just to cover up a couple of things, pick up on a couple of things for Monday. I did not have a chance to talk with my cousin, Kalana, about how the pandemic is affecting. I don't know if anybody else did either. So
Okay.
I will still try to do that so we can bring it to you here. We can discuss that. I just wanted to follow up because it's something. It was where we left off on Monday, and I wanted to just talk about it. So I just
Right.
looked up Starborn, and it's in beta testing now.
Yes.
But the thing is if you can go in at any time, when you say you have 70 days, you have 70 days relative to yourself.
Yes. 70 days real time. The game time. I don't know what it's supposed to represent. 3 or 4 years of game time, maybe 20 years of game time. But it's 70 days. So, but they start up new servers. So, like every 10 days, they start up a new server. You can join. You know,
Yeah, that kind
you
of.
can join.
So you can't. So if you join a server that happens to be day 60 and you may not realize it, then
Right, but it says it right on there. It says, I looked at the servers. I joined a server that was just starting out because other servers were like 10 out of 70 and 21 out of 70 and 35 out of 70. Now the initial thing that I said I flinched at, and I was like, "Whoa, wait a minute!" Is it is free to play, but if you pay like $5 or $10, you get like 1,000 bonus cards. without having to do all the missions and stuff like that.
Oh, so
So
it's pay to win.
so it's pay to win.
So
Now
it's
I
just it's
look
exactly like the phone games. I don't
Yeah,
play any of them.
right. So I did look at the forums on it, and the developers say, okay, look, I understand there's a lot of grief about this pay to win stuff, but one, we've got to make some money, and two, on average, 75% of the people that win the game did not buy any product. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell you.
You
But
know what though? It's a huge real life commitment that I'm not sure people have or people want at the moment. You know, 70.
yeah,
You're committing 70 real days. It doesn't seem like a lot, and but it is. It really is.
right.
Right. I want to either I want it to continue beyond the 70 days. You know, what if there's 2 weeks I can't play? I gotta turn around. Oh crap! Now I gotta go to this over. I gotta go to another server because
Well,
I missed 2 critical weeks.
Well, this is why it reminds me of Eve Online
It's a job.
because what I did was is I made a mining station, right? So I can get some minerals. I built a level 1 mining station. It took me 4 minutes to build it. So you don't get it automatically paying credits getting it. You have to wait the four
Yeah,
minutes.
I get it.
Okay. So now to go from level 1 to level 2 was like 25 minutes. So once you get up to like level 6 or 10, I'm just guessing, I haven't even gotten there, it might take 4 days, 5 days to upgrade that mining station. So
No, no, no,
then,
no. I get it. I get
yeah,
it. But
you can do your moves and then you could be gone for like 2 days without anything happening.
right. So
So,
every 70 days, it's in beta now, right? But if the word gets around, what will happen is you'll get a mega gamer come in every 70 days to a server, drop in $20,
yep,
game it, get elected emperor, move on to the next server. And they're going to keep doing that. The
yep,
person who's not paying is never going to they may be getting success now because it's in beta. So you can't trust those statistics because
right,
I've played enough, including including Mobile Strike. I've played enough of the pay to win games to understand that if you don't pay, you don't have in the long run you don't have the inklings of hope.
right. True.
So hopefully they'll figure out a different way, like subscription based would be much better. But
Right.
the problem with subscription based is you can't stop it at 70 days. And
Right.
anyway, so I'm looking forward to the next to our next
Well,
MMO game. So
the subscription might be more just for the ability to play the game. Like rather than saying like, all right, like there's $5 per 70 days, it might be like, all right, you got to pay $5 a month, and that allows you to participate in whatever number of games you want. And then, like, yeah, each server is going to reset after the preset amount of time. But at the very least, though, just for being able to jump in and play and participate and do whatever, like, that's what you're really paying for. Because, like, a lot of these gotcha games, like the ones that are on the phones, which
yeah,
I'm guessing is like how this is kind of shaping out to look like,
yeah,
people will play multiple of those at once. They'll be like, all right, I'm going to play 5 or 6 of these different things. I'm going to jump in, do this, jump in, do that.
yep,
Because then the only other way that I can picture that they go is cosmetic.
yes.
And the thing with that is that you might have people who will play something and never put $1 in it, or you might have people who are going to drop hundreds of dollars into it.
So here's what the and let me so in the pay to win games on the phone, usually I think it's once a week, once every couple of weeks or so. I think it's once a week. Once a week, the central spot opens up, and whoever the most powerful person is, you can attack it. And
Okay.
if you win it, you get it, and you're safe for a week.
Okay.
This is really no different. Think about what it's doing, right? You have 70 days to get yourself voted emperor or whatever. And if you what you do, you're safe. Game's over. New server.
Right.
And um, once you go to the next server, it's basically just starting over. Everybody's just doing the exact same thing again.
Right.
There's no just that premise alone doesn't make it an appealing game, and here's why: because there'll be inevitably, if you fall into a server, they're going to form cliques,
Right.
right? And they're going to work together. They're going to form a guild. They're going to work together, and the most powerful guild is going to get the one person elected. They'll rotate through 3 or 4 people. There's way too many ways to game this system.
But what I also think about it, yes, there are ways to game the system, and I completely agree with that. But the other thing is that I on the flip side, I also feel like it's you're just restarting a board game. You're just you're jumping in and just restarting another board game after 70 days. So it's just like setting up another Twilight Imperium game, and then setting up another Twilight Imperium game, and then setting up another Twilight Imperium.
Okay, so granted, so Twilight Imperium is a 70-day game, and I agree, but this is it's when you play Twilight Imperium in person, right? You're playing against 6 other individual people.
Yeah.
Right, and everybody's out for themselves. This is a game where a group of people go in. They could one person, right, can log on with 3 accounts, drop $60. Some of these power gamers, $60 is nothing, and you're saying once every 70 days. Hell, they'll log in with 5 accounts, drop $100 every 70 days. That gives them what?
Too.
Like if they pay $20, they get 2,000 cards. I mean, I'm just guessing here, right?
Right.
Pay $20, spend $100, they get 10,000 cards.
Right.
And they have 5 people all working together, and he's already got 5 votes.
Right. See, I don't know enough about the game, but see, my ultimate plan was to get 20 of my friends together, and we all play at the same time. So that's like my goal.
But I would never vote for you, Dave.
But then but then we run our own little guilds. So.
But it's a very easy that type of layout is very easy to game, so to speak.
Well, I will. I'll keep you posted. Now,
yeah.
I got a couple other quick things.
Sure.
I've been playing Through the Ages. I just finished another game of Through the Ages online. That's at boardgaming-online.com. And then I just played on Steam Talisman the other night with my friends. So that was the first time I played Talisman. That was fun. And then
very
I'm
cool.
also running. What's that?
Very cool.
Yeah. Have you played that game before?
Before? Yes.
No, Talisman.
Yeah, Talisman.
Okay. And then I played a bunch of Civ 4 recently too, so I'm pretty excited about that.
I know. I see your tweet.
Cool. And then I do have on our topic list, we're not going to get a chance to talk about it today, but I still have on their Star Wars trilogy with Rebecca. Did you get a chance to talk to Rebecca about that yet?
We'll talk to her when she's on Monday. She actually fell asleep on Monday and slept through the alarm to come join John and I.
Oh, there you go.
So I'm like, oh, that sounds familiar. Also,
you've got Rogue is running a 5e game or something.
I was getting ready.
Not you, John. Wait, Rogue is running a 5e game?
Yeah, I've got that in my notes to talk about that with large scale movements or something.
Oh, yeah. We want to talk about because we want to talk about large scale armies, but we got caught up on ability score generation. So we should also start mentioning Uplink by LI Retro.
Yes.
Uplink.
A digital con.
Is it a digital?
Oh, we sound so polished. There's Johnny.
No, I'm reading through the notes because I almost said what it told me. It says do not say this and say that, and I'm looking through the notes and all right, so I'm gonna read it verbatim and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, sounds good.
#Uplink is an exciting new digital-only expo from the LI Retro team that will embody retro gaming culture across 17 hours of exclusive interactive online experiences that will change the definition of a virtual So
August 8th and 9th is going to be a tabletop element there. It's going to be mostly video game related stuff, but it's going to be a blast.
Yeah, the other thing
he's at a loss for words.
No, I'm not. I'm not. I have questions about the official statement. So I'm gonna have to inquire about them later. Anyway, back to real life. The sad news that I got the official notice yesterday that Gen Con has been canceled this year
Yes.
and will return in 2021.
And also DexCon got canceled.
DexCon also got canceled. Right, I forgot. I didn't look at their tab, but I did notice that they were canceled.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's I didn't like the way they worded. Hopefully, we'll be back next year.
Wow.
Yeah,
'Cause, I mean,
I hope so.
they had financial troubles like 10 years ago. I don't know.
I hope I hope it's okay. Talk with I'll reach out to Vinny, find out. But
Oh wait. Oh, I was saying Gen Con had financial troubles. You mean DexCon's statement said hopefully we'll be back next year?
yeah. No, Gen
Oh, I
Con
thought
will
you meant
be.
Gen. I thought you
Gen
meant
Con
Gen Con.
has a they have a backing. They're owned by original creator of Magic.
Garfield.
Yeah, I think he
Richard
owns
Garfield.
Gen Con or something like that.
Oh, okay. I didn't. I wasn't aware.
Something along those lines. Somebody bought it a while ago when they were having financial troubles.
Okay. Yeah, I remember about 10 years ago, Gen Con almost went under.
May 27th, for those of you out there that want to know, May 27th is the U.S. release of Phantasy Star Online, new MMO.
Oh, okay.
Just
No,
throwing it out
that's
there.
not exactly new, but it's a very long story. But
So for everybody in the U.S., Phantasy Star Online MMO is a new MMO to the U.S.
if you haven't been playing the Japanese version, I mean, technically,
You can't play the Japanese version; it's not available.
I mean, you can. It's just it's kind of a very
So
difficult and tricky situation, but
you
whatever.
can't download it for your PC
What do you mean?
because it's not available in the U.S. Despite what John's saying,
Oh,
Phantasy
okay.
Star Online MMO, Phantasy Star Online 2 MMO isn't available in the U.S.
All right, let's put it this way: it'll be much more accessible to people in the U.S. starting on the 27th.
Yeah, you can't play Phantasy Star Online in the Microsoft Store for PC. For those of you who
It's
know,
also Fantasy Star Online 2.
no, that's what I meant. It's Phantasy Star Online 2, not Phantasy Star Online. Phantasy Star
So,
Online 2, Phantasy Star 2 Online.
yes, but I'm seeing that it's on Xbox One, or is it going to be on PC?
It's going to be on PC. It's going to be on both. It's only available on the Microsoft Store.
Okay.
And it's
So
been
what I'm going to need to go here in a hot second, but what do you like about Fantasy Star? What are you excited about it?
so I like that. I've been playing the storyline since Sega.
Oh, okay.
I got my first taste of Phantasy Star. As a matter of fact, I started with Phantasy Star 2 on Sega, and I really got into the storyline. And it's kind of like a Final Fantasy, except there's a lot more sci-fi elements.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, it's mostly sci-fi. You know.
Yeah, it was one of the first.
So.
It was one of the first like widespread role playing, like RPGs console wise, that did the whole sci-fi angle.
Yep.
It's much more sci-fi than fantasy. Like there's still
Yes,
fantasy
it
stuff
is.
in
It is.
but it's definitely like robots, aliens, tech instead of like magic, or they call it magitech.
Yes, but it also has a pretty cool storyline. But John is correct.
All right. Well, I'm going to need to split, but what else we got?
So that's it. We're done. Rob just said, "Be nice. Let John finish brushing his teeth." And then, as for my game, the party managed to come face to face with the Horde last week. They all wish they had been wearing their brown pants.
Nice one.
All right, we'll be back Friday as we get used to our new format. John, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, lively discussion about ability scores. I'll tell you that one.
Yeah. Maybe we'll have more information. I'll have more information on Phantasy Star 2 on.
Sounds great. So with that said, everybody out there, thanks for watching Over Coffee, and good morning.
Good morning. Next week, pinball.
Pinball.
That's John's an officiant.
I have a pinball. I'm on tour.